Mix back here. So first week has passed. We are on the day before the first reset of season 2, and yes, I have been able quite a lot now. Gear wise, not a lot has changed since the last video has got up. Well, I got a belt, and then I decided to go with the two mastery trinkets together. That seems to be doing pretty well. I also obviously simmed this. That's one of the things. Also got another ring. Yeah, that's right. A ring with verse and tons of haste. Because I was pretty good on the mastery, but I was losing damage due to, well, I was having very low haste, so I thought maybe if I boost it up, I did a sim with that ring, it did improve it. I switched one of my crafted rings out. I'll just show you quickly. Yeah, so I got this thing, haste verse, and I put this. It already had a socket in it, so I put the thingamajiggy gem right in there. Got some mastery on it. That seemed higher, and then I got a belt. Better than the old one I had, and I simmed this together with these two, yeah, that seemed to be doing better both in sims and in game. I also got this thing, it's like not, it's like, yeah, basically the same more or less than the one I had, just a little bit more haste, but it's like 12 haste. So, and obviously I kept my main hand in here because I am going to upgrade it with the what is it called? Yes, with the Spark of Shadow Flame. But yeah, so I've had some time now to practice with the raid spec more in the raid on normal and heroic. Now we got up 7 out of 9 heroic. That we got Tharian down to like 10% or so. A little bit annoying, but you know, it'll go down for sure next reset. So yeah, I just wanted to show some videos. I made a short video here of single target and one of AoE. One is pretty, but yeah, I wanted to just like look at this and try to explain a little bit what's going on here. So first of all, let's see. Yeah, so training here with this dummy is what I usually do, because I want to see as close to the real numbers as I possibly can. Now in a raid I will have higher numbers, obviously. Well, first of all due to the buffs, and second of all because there is a bloodlust involved, right? But what I can do here is I can use my Howling Rune, Vial of Tepid Versatility. I still use that one. I know it's not the best we can use, but we're still progress raiding and people need gear, so every bit of versatility helps. This is also one. But I was looking for a versatility item, and that ring was just like perfect. Give me versatility, and it also improved damage. So that was a very good drop for me at this point. Well fed, obviously, and Mark of the Wild, right? So here I'm running with the raid build. You can vaguely see it here. I mean, I'm gonna unpause this video. But just like to show the difference. Because now I'm way more familiar with this. My item level is gonna one or two item level last time, but yeah, quite a big difference in the damage that I'm able to produce. So let's see, this is a video obviously. Okay, so what we're doing here now, one thing that has changed a little bit, and I feel way more comfortable doing that as well. Instead of putting your dots up as your first thing and then popping everything, due to the way something that I noticed, like doing it that way, there is I mean, you're not gonna have, first of all, if you use your instacast starfires from your Fury Balloon, you are gonna overcap, which is not something you really want to do. And if you start using your Star Surges, you're gonna push your Star Surges on a target that doesn't have Waning Twilight because you just started the pull, right? So what I like to do, which is also kind of neat since we're still using, I mean, I'm gonna do this when I lose my tier 29 Forset anyways. I push 2 Wraths on pull, right? So on 2 seconds I spam Wrath. That's what I would do twice, or maybe on 3 seconds. It depends on how far away you are from the boss, because it has a travel time and it doesn't really fly that fast. But 2 Wraths, this is what I'm doing here on this training dummy. And then I put the dots up and I pop everything like we said in the previous video. Because, well, why? Well, for one, when you're pushing 2 Wraths, you're going to Lunar Eclipse, which is an eclipse, which means you are getting some form of benefit from your current Forset if you already haven't lost it. And you are also you're using 2 spells that can proc your Smolder. So you're getting a higher chance of having Smolder when you pop your things, which is great because you want to have that 8% buff when you pop everything, because you're gonna do insane damage. So yeah, let's see here. What's a way to just get rid of this massive bar here in a more convenient. And anyways, right, you see I'm gonna go Wrath, then dots, then I'm Incarnation, Fury Balloon, and then I start, right? With this, like, self-buffed on pull 150k burst DPS. Not bad, I mean, it's quite a lot more than what we used to have. So what I'm paying attention to here, like now my Incarnation and my Trinket is way off, right? So what I'm trying to pay attention to here is my Rattle debuff and my Star-Lord. So you see the Star-Lord is the white circle-y thing on the left of my weak aura here, one that says 3 now and that's about to go out. The Rattle is the one that has 2 that moves faster, right? And then you have the Pulsar in the middle. So basically what I'm paying attention to here is how far, well, first of all, how many stacks of Star-Lord do I have? Because first priority should be to keep your Star-Lord at 3 stacks as much as you can, right? Second priority would be to not lose your Rattle. And correct me if I'm wrong, but this is just the way I've felt it and played it, and it seems to give me more damage if I prioritize the Star-Lord over the Rattle, right? So that means that sometimes you're gonna have to sacrifice your Rattle buff just to make sure that you go straight into your Star-Lord faster. What does that mean? Well, it would be in a scenario where your Rattle is about to run out and your Star-Lord is also about to run out, right? So instead of using your let's say that your Rattle will go out maybe like half a second or less before you lose your Star-Lord. Like here, I messed that up. It's not that big of a deal, it's just like if you really want to min-max. But just for theory's sake, right? So your Rattle would go out and then you have like less than half a second for your Star-Lord. In that type of scenario, you want to let your Rattle go out so that you have as much AP as possible when your Star-Lord runs out. Because when your Star-Lord runs out, you want to push that up to 3 as fast as you possibly can, because it gives you a lot of haste, right? So you want to do that because haste is a really good stat for us. And I mean the rattle buff here from Rattle of the Stars is still really good. It's the best one we can use at the moment. It's but it, like, in terms of what our force set used to give us, it was definitely more important, right? And also due to the fact that the Rattle debuff went out much faster than it does now, because they did buff the duration of the Rattle buff, so it's easier to keep it up. So usually it's not an issue. Usually you don't have to worry about wasting your Rattle. It's just in very specific scenarios. Sometimes you will be in a position where you're gonna have to sacrifice it, right? Like here I should... Well, no. I'm more focused on the talking than actually looking at what I'm doing here. But that's at least the theory. That's what seems to do the most damage from what I can see. I might be wrong, but I'm definitely doing better. So here I'm just trying to see, like, okay, what's the average length fight right now? About 5 minutes, 5 to 6 minutes. Not on normal, obviously, because those bosses are just falling over. Trying to just look at the damage done here and see how long I've been in combat and like how where do I end up, right? And as you can see, it's a lot better than it was in the other videos. Now on this one, mind you, I did record it completely without any audio, just to like purely focus on the damage. I wanted to give you guys a proper look of what's possible, and not just like these half-assed videos, which, like, I like doing the video, I like the format, but in terms of like giving you the best that I could possibly give you in forms of what the damage can be or how the rotation would look like, I haven't really provided that, and I do apologize. Disclaimer, like I said, like this is a bit of a new, little bit of a tweaked version of how we are supposed to play. So I mean, I do like it. The single target is definitely way better than it used to be, and it feels pretty good with the Warrior of Elune and all of that. So here you see, I let the Rattle. Let's just go back to that. I let the Rattle run out so I can push my Starlord up. Now, pay attention to that. Let's see here if I can catch it again. Here we go. Look, Rattle going out, and then I'm at 100 AP just after the Starlord goes out, right? So then I can easily go back up to 3. That's one of those types. All right. But I'm gonna. I looked at the time here somewhere. Yeah, I'm like at almost 6 minutes. It's gradually going down slowly during these 5 minutes, obviously. But yeah, after about 6 minutes, I stopped at 81k, which isn't that bad, considering I still don't have my 2 set from the new raid. My item level is 423. And then I have the AoE. Here I'm using that cleave build. A lot higher here, but now this is like as high as I get with everything popped, right? So 280k. But otherwise the same applies here in terms of priority for Starlord and Rattle. Now there I was a little bit, but yeah, it does take a little bit more time to get Astral Power back up again when you're doing AoE, due to the longer casting time of your Starfire, and also Starfall costs more AP than Star Surge does. So I mean, at the very best, what you can do is, unless you're like being really lucky with procs and stuff, the best you can do in most situations is get your Star Lord up to 2 once it runs out, right? There is a good example where I'm saying I was lucky with the moon to be able to go back up to 3 fast. That's because for some reason I don't track my orbit breaker. That's something I need to do. Need to check my weak aura to see if it's possible. Otherwise, I'm gonna have to get another. Because I do. Yeah, that's basically it. So there we go. Now I finally got some proper videos down where I'm showing a little bit more of what's possible and how a rotation might look like when executed properly. Now there are a bunch of videos with Moonkin points of views directly from the raid on Mythic and Heroic difficulty. I don't have those yet because I'm focusing on other things. But yeah, do check those out if you wanna see, okay, what does that translate to in fighting scenario. But if you really just wanna get the basic rotation down, I would highly suggest that you go and stand in front of the training dummy. You don't have to be there for hours, right? But like 5-10 minutes every time you start playing is a good warm-up to get you into the rhythm. You're gonna have to like learn a new pattern or do. Yeah, thanks for watching and see you in the next one. And also, if you are wondering why my voice is sounding differently, obviously, well, it is. I'm using another mic. That's what you get when you buy a mic for low price. The other mic, the new one that I got, is just such bad quality, so I just cannot for the life of me get rid of the humming noise. Fortunately. Invest in another one, but that will have to wait. So yeah, for now I'm gonna do more of these types of videos where I'm talking the video. That's just have to be case reasons. Again, thank you for watching and do enjoy the balance through. I know I am. See ya. Ciao.